Now, a really common problem in a reef aquarium is Aptasia. And Aptasia are these little anemone-looking weeds that grow like weeds. And the key to Aptasia is try to get rid of them as early as possible, because once they become seeded in the aquarium, it's really hard to get rid of them. So there's all sorts of commercially available products to get rid of them, which I get very mixed response from. Some customers say they're great, some customers say they're terrible. Fish like stripies and scats are options for eating these Aptasia.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can try various butterflies like the copper band, but they're very hard to keep. Otherwise, you could try some peppermint shrimp, which are another option. But whatever you're doing, trying to take decisive action is the key.
Yep.
Before it gets too bad.
Which it kind of borderline already is.
Yeah. So we've just relocated this aquarium now. So what we basically did is take the water out and put water in drums. We took the coral out and put them in a box with some water to cover the coral. We took some fish out of the tank, put it in a box with some water just enough to cover the fish. We're now cleaning the skimmer. We've drained the water out and gave the tank a little once over. And what I've just done now is test the water. The pH is a little bit low. It's about 8. I really want 8.4, so I want to add some buffer to raise that. The calcium was a little bit low. That was 340, so we want to add some calcium to raise the calcium. The magnesium was 1800, which is a little bit high, so we want to do some water changes and not add magnesium. The KH was pretty good. It was 7. I'd really want 8. The ammonia was 0. The nitrite was near 0, and the nitrate was 0. So that's basically where we're at the moment. Whenever you do anything major with the tank and anything that might stress the fish, definitely anything involving relocations or whatever, a couple of things I'd want to do is keep the salinity on the low side after the move. So I'd rather the salinity be down, let the fish settle in, and then slowly bring the salinity back up again before that causes trouble with your coral. The other thing I want to do is put some fresh polyfilter in the water, because what happens is when we're uprooting everything, we can actually release hydrogen sulfide if we're very unlucky, and that can actually kill the fish. So putting a bit of polyfilter in any time we do a big move is something I highly recommend. So this is called Vibrant, and this did quite a good job cleaning up the bubble algae in this aquarium. So if you can get hold of Vibrant, if you've got bubble algae, it might be worth a try. Now, what's a really good idea is whenever I'm at someone's house, I like going through their undie drawer, their fish stuff.
Yeah.
So we've got some cycle, and this is good for whenever anything's going on in the tank. And you definitely want to keep that in the fridge once you've opened it. It'll last longer in the fridge, but today would be a good day to add a bit of that. We have, that's about the best fish food you can get. So this fish food with some New Life Spectrum probiotics is my go-to fish foods, because fish keeping is 50% about water quality and 50% about nutrients. Now we've got some dip. That's a good thing when adding new corals to try not to get pests in on the new corals. Now we have some magnesium trace. At the moment we will not be adding that because our magnesium level is quite high. Now we have some polyfilter, which is God's gift to fish tanks. We have some activated carbon, which I don't tend to use, but after a move like this is not too bad an idea. We have some reef roids, which is a good food for your corals. We have a hydrometer. Hey, there we go. So I will use that right now. And we have some Aquascaping Putty. What this putty is really good for is making little knobs on your rocks, so you can put corals that you otherwise couldn't put. Now we have a test kit, and we have some Cyno X for getting rid of red algae. Make sure if you do use products like this, when you finish that, you should add some polyfilter to remove any residual. And we have a toothbrush in case you get desperate. And we have a screwdriver because everyone likes a screw. Now, something that is super important is every time you use a reef rectometer, you want to calibrate it. And the way you calibrate it is you just look through it into you put a bit of RO water into this, or even better, if you've got RO solution, which would be at 0.025, but put some RO in, then look into the light through there, and then you need to make sure that's set on 0. If it's not, there's a little screw under here. You can take that off. There's a little screw. You can screw that while you're looking down this into the light, and then you've got to calibrate that at 0. After you do that, you can take the salt level. Now, because we're doing a move, we actually want to make sure this salt level is very low. So normally we want to run a salt level of 0.025. While a move, we want to drop it more like 0.020, but we don't want to leave it at 0.020. We want to slowly bring it back up again once the fish are well settled in and not stressed. So even if you dropped it a little bit to like 0.022, that'd be fine. But don't keep it low, otherwise you have trouble with your coral. Now, what's a good tip for next time? Whenever you're moving a tank, before you move the tank, it's really good to give the filter a good clean, like a week before, and give the gravel a good clean with a gravel cleaner. And it's really important that every time you do a water change, you want to be using a gravel cleaner, because it'll get all the crap out of the gravel. So pre-move, a nice good gravel clean and a good filter clean will just mean that when we get to the other side, it won't look like the Warrenora River, which isn't the end of the world, because that will clear up in no time at all, particularly because we've put some polyfilter in there. So this tank needs a post-move service within the next few days using a gravel cleaner. Do you have a gravel cleaner? Okay, gravel cleaner is the most important thing to buy. More important than water. So now that this tank has been moved, one of the most important things is to keep an eye on the corals once the water clears up, because obviously we can't aquascape what we can't see. I'm doing another service and just removing all this crap that came out of the filter, keeping an eye on the salinity and making sure it's on the low side. Say 0.022 would be good for now. And then we want to slowly bring that up over days back to 0.025. This tank is currently running very high, 0.029. We have dropped the salt level a little bit because of the move, but that will need attention. And I would be wanting to check my water weekly for now. And I would be wanting to not feed the fish for the next couple of days. Let it all settle in.